With more revelations linking Donald and convicted rapist and sex trafficker of girls and young women, Jeffrey Epstein, one would think he would take a break from showing his deep disdain for women. But no. And part of that is because Donald's misogyny runs deep and is actually honestly come by because his entire family was a bunch of misogynists. Last week, days before reversing his position on the vote to release Epstein's files, Donald spoke to reporters on Air Force One, and when Bloomberg reporter Jennifer Jacobs asked him about the files, he lashed out at her. Watch this.
What did Jeffrey Epstein mean in his emails when he said you knew about the girls?
I know nothing about that. They would have announced that a long time ago. It's really, what did he mean when he spent all the time with Bill Clinton, with the president of Harvard, who you know, that is Summers, Larry Summers, whatever his name is, and all of the other people that he spent time with. Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years. But he also saw strike because I was president. So he dictated a couple of memos to himself. Give me a break. You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan Chase.
Sir,
Yeah,
if there's
Jennifer, go
nothing
ahead. Go ahead.
incriminating in the file, sir,
Venezuela,
why
sir?
not why are you acting as a
Quiet, Piggy.
On
Go ahead.
Venezuela, sir, you've had a lot of meetings on Venezuela.
It's worth pointing out that once again, the journalists in that room did not come to their colleagues' defense. This has happened time and time again as Donald has lobbed attacks against the journalists in the White House press pool. In fact, they didn't react at all, which is bad enough. But the only pig in that scenario, I would say, is Donald Trump. However, that would be wildly unfair to pigs who are affectionate and intelligent creatures, unlike the man who said that vile remark to that reporter who was, remember, just doing her job by asking a question that is on everybody's mind. Instead of answering it civilly, Donald lashed out because he knows. He knows all is not well, and he may indeed be in a lot of trouble. Donald's treatment of this journalist has caused viral outrage, which is cool, I guess. But he's been engaging in this kind of rhetoric and behavior for decades. Like, why is this different? What, do we seriously think there will be any repercussions because of that? Again, a lot of people are pointing out that his lashing out in this way makes him appear even guiltier, but everything he's done vis-a-vis the Epstein files since coming back into office in January has made him seem more and more guilty. Investigative reporter Brian Allen posted the following on Twitter, quote, Donald didn't just dodge a question about the Epstein evidence, he exploded. He snapped like a man who knows exactly what's sitting in those files and is terrified the country will finally see it. This is the President of the United States, a thin skinned, cornered bully who melts down the second accountability gets within striking distance. He's not defending the office, he's defending himself, unquote. Well, yeah, I mean, Donald has done nothing but disgrace the office of the presidency since we were unfortunate enough to have him ascend to the Oval Office back in 2017. But I'm not entirely sure about whether or not he thinks accountability is within striking distance. This is somebody who has never been held accountable at all. It seems to me that this is much simpler. This is his reacting to a woman having the audacity to challenge him. And again, she was just doing her job. She wasn't challenging him at all. She was being a reporter asking a valid question. But because she's a woman and because he is a misogynistic asshole, he believes that he is within his rights to treat her with such contempt that I actually felt the shame and humiliation all women have felt when spoken to by men like that. This has been going on, as I said, for decades. Donald is not just a misogynist in the way he speaks to women, he's a misogynist in the way he treats them. He has been credibly accused by over 23 women of sexual harassment, sexual assault, etc. Last year, a jury of his peers found him civilly liable for raping E. Jean Carroll. And we are just supposed to forget that. We're surprised that he is going to speak to a woman contemptuously after we know that he was found liable for rape. There is no reason for Donald to pull his punches here. He knows he can get away with it because he always has gotten away with treating women the way he treated that reporter. But before we go on, we have to continue to fight for accountability for Donald and the Trump regime, even though that often feels like a losing battle. So please like and share this video. And if you believe in our mission, please subscribe to Mary Trump Media. I want to remind you just how in character all this is by showing you a montage of clips from MSNBC. And I also while watching it, I want you to pay particular attention to the reactions Donald gets.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account
Only
has
Rosie
several-
O'Donnell. You know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
I never liked Horseface. It's just not. It's a terrible thing. That wouldn't be the one.
For the president, horseface is just the latest insult aimed at the looks of women he doesn't like. Take his 2016 opponent, Carly Fiorina. Look at that face, then candidate Trump commented. Would anyone vote for that on former Miss Universe Alicia Machado?
She gained a massive amount of weight, and it was a real problem.
There was this about Jessica Leeds, who accused him of sexual assault.
Yeah, I'm going to go after. Believe me, she would not be my first choice, that I can tell you.
Aside from the grotesque reactions of the people in those crowds, which quite frankly explains a lot about how we got here, Donald is admitting something very openly there as he has at other times. He actually is admitting that he would totally rape a woman, just not somebody who looks like that. Essentially, he's saying he would only rape women he finds attractive. I grew up with him. I grew up with these people. So again, none of this is surprising. What remains surprising to me, even though I shouldn't be surprised by this either, I suppose, is that the American people are still willing to put up with his dehumanization of women, his treating them like second-class citizens, and the contempt he so obviously has for half of the population. In the Trump family, girls had no value. Donald's oldest sibling, Marianne, was a girl. My grandfather never once considered her a viable option for taking over the family business. That would have been my dad, his oldest son, Fred. That didn't work out, but the next oldest, Elizabeth, would never have been considered either. So, therefore, it fell to Donald, who is not only incompetent and unskilled, he was just a terrible, terrible businessman. And my grandfather knew it. But what mattered more was that he wasn't a woman. Unfortunately, America suffers from the same kind of unexamined misogyny my family suffered from, because 62 million people in 2016 thought it was a good idea to vote for that. But it's really important to remember, whenever you hear somebody say that a woman can never be elected president of the United States, we did elect a woman to be president of the United States, but for the egregious racist electoral college. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote in 2016 by 3 million votes. The concern now, however, is that because the leader of this country is a misogynist in the ranks of Jeffrey Epstein, the disease of misogyny has spread. And more men, and even some women, are increasingly comfortable with openly expressing their contempt for women. And that is a very slippery slope. please take a second and like and share this video. Be awesome if you could subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to us in podcast form, please follow us and give the show a 5-star rating because it really does help other people find our content. Thanks.